Look what you've done. You've created this out of plasma, which is responding to consciousness, which is really you. You've created all this, and you can also uncreate it, or you can create something totally different. And it's not that hard to do. Creating reality, and I'm not trying to talk about the kind of what we've seen in the past, people trying to change the world. Stop doing that. Create realities for yourself. Now, in creating whatever reality it is that you choose, is going to require getting out of the zoo, going beyond your mind, not worrying about. The important point here is you're doing it for yourself. Stop trying to change the world. That is energetically counterproductive. The moment, a lot of you have been do-gooders in the past, and the moment you're trying to change the world, which I know it's kind of compelling, you want to make everything good and pretty, but it doesn't necessarily want to be good and pretty. World doesn't necessarily want to be defined by your terms. So you go out and try to change the world and think you're doing good, feel really proud and self-righteous and everything else about being a do-gooder. What happens is the natural response of energy will try to then change you. It will come back on you. It will confine you more. It will screw you up, mess you up more. You're trying to change somebody else's natural order or perception. You're acting outside of the compassion, then it's going to do the same thing to you. So stop trying to change the world. Allow yourself to change your own realities. Why did you wait, David?
I think I did, and all of us here, Shambra.
Yes.
Out of our love of humanity.
Yeah.
We knew that this was going to be an intense transitional time, and that we could be of service.
Yes.
At the same time, there's also that nagging doubt within us that, we frigged up and should have taken the easy road, and we doubt now if
like the early bird gets the worm, or something like that. It's like should have done it back then. So I'd like to address that, David. Thank you. It's a very good thing being here to serve humanity. It's written in the Kabbalah. Yes, Linda, microphone again. Hey, keep you running.
And if I said serve, that was just due to my nerves being up in front of all of you. But what I meant to say was our love, our deep passion and love for humanity and for Gaia.
Yeah. Okay. And that's a valid reason. It's a valid excuse. Okay. But let me give you a little history on that. Going back about 500-600 years ago, it was the commonly accepted in spiritual circles, mystery schools, everywhere, that your ascension, your enlightenment was dependent on everybody else. It was in vogue at the time. I'm not going to go till we're all ready. It sounded great. And it was very, very popular. And it's the way most of the spiritual organizations were run. And it was that way, actually, up until yesterday. David, the history has it that it was in vogue 300-400, going back as far as 300 or 400 years ago, that we're all going to do this for humanity. I forgot who started it, but I would smack him down if I had been there and known, because everybody bought into it. It's a nice story. Do you realize how long it's going to take for everybody on the planet to become enlightened? First of all, there's new ones moving in all the time at a very rapid rate. 1,000 lifetimes they might have to go through. Okay, let's cut it down to 700. Are you going to wait for them? And then their babies. And then their babies. Oh. So I proposed at a gathering of some of the embodied masters at the time. I said, how about how about it's a sovereign journey? Whoa. How about we stop focusing on this mass, everybody's got to go first, I'll be the last one through the door, captain's the last one on the ship. Crap, the captain should get off the ship and go find a boat to come and save everybody. I don't understand that mentality. So I proposed back then, I said, what if we get off that program of, no, what do they say? No one, the last one left behind. No one left behind. Leave them all behind. It's a better program because I proposed. I said, what if one or two or five come through into enlightenment? There was a silence that fell over the room, kind of like what's happening here. Yeah, then what, Adamus? I said, let's say there's five, and they stay embodied, and they walk the earth without running around saying, I'm enlightened, but just walk the earth. And they become a standard. Because you know how many people believe that they will have a spiritual realization in this life? Not many. They have no hope. They have old stories of old masters. They have no hope. So they don't believe they can do it. They're waiting to go on the other side for answers and salvation, and most of them believe in either in heaven and hell or something in between. So they wait. They don't believe that they can do it. But if I put five here on stage or out walking in the park, at the shopping mall, at an airport, five that don't have to say a word from their mouth, but their charisma shines, that will make the difference. And then there was a in the room with the other masters. They weren't quite ready to buy it because they were invested or addicted to their old way of thinking. But I said, just what if? What if we didn't have to do channeling anymore? What if it was the human that stood here that was the realized master? Wouldn't it be far better than waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for all humanity? Wouldn't it be better for them to have actual examples? Still is not a terribly popular idea. Still, most groups will do the kumbaya thing. We have to all go. We have to all be one. No. I can tell you this, for you, still watching, still writing, I tell all of you, little secret, and it's one of my favorite topics, not oneness. If you're looking for oneness, this isn't the place. There is no going back to oneness, like going back to God and we'll just all sink back into God. No, actually, there's really no God, but that's another topic. There is, but not the human God. I'm so sick of that human God. It's a God rant, okay? Just let me rant once in a while. But there's no going back to that oneness. There's no universal oneness. We are all one. Yeah, we all have similarities. But you're not. You're sovereign. You're sovereign. A sovereign being has a much better perspective and compassion to all others. Much better compassion to everyone else for their journey, for their way, for their uniqueness, for their diversity, versus one who's trying to go back to one. The person who's trying to go back to one is going to try to make sure everybody else does it their way. That's hell. I mean, that is hell, literally. Because they're imagining going back to some cloud of oneness, but they want it to be their way, in their likeness. So you can imagine the conflict it causes when they're trying to bring everybody else into oneness their way. It doesn't work. You're sovereign. You're not going back even into your own oneness, because you're going to discover, and particularly we're going to focus on this in Kihak, that you are not one. You are many. Absolutely. You're not going to sink back into some fluffy cotton candy soul that does everything for you. It's not there. Just like God is not there, the soul is not there, because those are human concepts. Those are human constructs needing a savior. We're not going there. We're going to go into the many of you. The many, 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 many of you. And that's such a freedom, such a blessing. Okay, I digress, but I do it intentionally.
Is this a warm-up for your June presentations?
I'm only 10% of the way through our discussion here today.
Sounds like a warm-up for June?
Well, I'll explain to you in a moment. Next question. Okay.
I would think immediately following self-love would be service.
Service.
Service to Gaia, service to humanity, service to all that is.
How honest do you want me to be about that?
Totally.
Totally. Crap.
Well,
Eh,
explain.
to an extent. And the reason why I say that, what happens if we put service as number 2 on the list after self-love, it flips. And suddenly it's about service and not self-love. And if I do enough service, maybe others will love me and maybe I'll learn to love myself.
But we're talking about already having the self-love piece down,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Why wouldn't service to the greater whole immediately follow that?
Do you really care about the greater whole?
I do.
Why?
I love this planet. I would like to see her.
Yes. You have a big investment in the planet. Absolutely. Gaia's leaving, though.
Humanity.
Humanity.
Oh.
What a mess.
Okay,
What
so
a
you're
mess.
saying that there's no such thing as service? That self-service?
No, I'm in service.
Okay, then explain.
Thank you. I was waiting for you to say that. So, and this is where, by the way, I love you for asking this, because this is where a lot of people get irritated with me. And they leave the Crimson Circle. They blame it on Cauldre and Linda. Sorry. But this is where they get upset, because they're so locked into this old thing. It's one of those nails that's in there and covered over, nails into mass consciousness, and absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. This planet is fine. Why do you think I close my amazing dialogues with all is well in all creation? Means you don't have to do a thing. Everybody's on their path. Sooner or later, they're all going to ascend. Not because of you, not because of me, but because of themselves. Sooner or later, humanity is going to say, let's do it a different way. And it's not up to you, or it's not up to me to do that. It's up to me, because I learned it from Andra a long time ago, to be compassionate.
Okay, so I'm with you on this.
Good. And you don't have to
So
be.
the ascended masters, whoever they are,
Yes.
came here not for service, but for compassion. Period. End of sentence.
No, they came here for themselves. Not even for compassion. They came here for one thing, their sovereignty. And that's what Earth is all about. Sooner or later, everybody makes their way through, including the whales, the dolphins, the bumblebees, everything else. It all works out. It already has worked out. The reason why I say that is because you and your soul, which now I view as together, really not separate, long time ago you chose ascension, self-realization, knowing yourself as God also, not dependent on anyone else, not contingent on you knowing you're God also. You can be a master and shouldn't have to be. It doesn't matter. Compassion is the acceptance that she's absolutely experiencing it how she wants to. You're actually both ascended. You already are. There is no time and space.
Yes.
So you've already ascended. Now, the soul says, yeah, well, that was great, but how did I get there? What wisdom did I accumulate through my experiences to get to this ascension? What you have right now is kind of an incomplete ascension. I mean, it's completed, but the experience of how you got there, that's absolutely up to you. Absolutely up to you, how you want to get there. You want to do it on your hands and knees, or you want to do it with a big, happy, rich smile on your face. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The soul doesn't care, actually. Your soul really doesn't care. You can burn in hell, and your soul really doesn't care because it's an illusion. It's a way you may want to experience the ascension, going to the depths of hell, if you choose to believe in that. If you can also do it by singing lullabies, dancing on top of little buttercups and flowers with the deers singing along with you. It doesn't matter. It's just an experience. Or you can do both. You can say, I'll try this, I'll try that. I'll do it the difficult way, I'll do it the easy way. So here I am in service. As a master, I have a saying that only a master can be in service. Everyone else is a servant. They're on their hands and knees, beholden to someone else. A master, once he has that realization, I am that I am, nothing else matters, then a master can be in service just for kicks and grins. That's all. That's all. I love being in service, but I'm not obligated to it. It doesn't really matter if you choose to sit here and listen to me or not. It really doesn't. It could be an audience of one. Wouldn't that be fun? Because I'm not invested in the outcome. I'm doing this because it's enjoyable. It's amusing, truly is. I mean, I laugh a lot when I'm not in front of you. I have a good time. But because also we've traveled together over a long period of time, and I kind of like all of you. All of you, too. Actually, I'll go so far as to say, as long as Linda doesn't use it against me later, that I actually love each and every one of you. That's Valentine's, I had to say that.
That's on tape.
Yes, I actually love you, but love is compassionate. It's heart to heart, soul to soul. It's not sorrow. It's not feeling bad for you. This is fun, and it's fun because I know you're going to make it. So it makes it a lot of fun. We have an agreement going way back, which neither one of us has to honor, but it's enjoyable to honor it, that we would teach each other. You've taught me in the past. You truly have. And I'm at least trying to help you open your eyes right now. Big thing is open the eyes. So sometimes Linda says I'm maybe too provocative. Sometimes I'm irritating. Sometimes I say shocking things just to get the eyes open. I tell the attendees in the workshops, I hope you go away irritated with me, because that means you're irritated with yourself. You're no longer happy with the status quo. Somebody said something to you, which is just me reflecting it, what's already there, to shake you up a little bit, to get you. We could get together once a month like this and do very calm, beautiful meditations, and we can talk about the angels fluttering around you. But you want more than that. You've been there, done that. You've graduated that step. Now we're here to get those eyes open and get you to realize who you really are. So service is fun, but not to save the planet. Planet will be fine. Gaia's leaving anyway. Not to save the whales and the dolphins. You know, there's some species that want to leave right now. They've been here in service to a long time. They want to go back to the celestial oceans. The oceans here are getting a little bit polluted. There are energy holders, indigenous tribes on this planet that are so ready and so tired. They've been here holding the energy. They couldn't wait for you to come along so you could move the energy and be the energy. They were doing this for centuries. My God, some of them have been around since Atlantis, chanting, doing the smoke thing. I love the video today. Holding the energy, waiting. They're so glad that you're here. So we could put service here, but be a little cautious about service. It can be distracting. Serve yourself first, then talk to me about service. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me be direct. Thank you. And